Hey everyone, it's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth. Today is Thursday, September 19th, 2024, and in this video we're going to be discussing some major changes coming to Airbnb, VRBO, Booking.com, all of these online marketplaces. Here in Edmonton, Alberta, there is a tourism levy. There's going to be some important changes October 1st. And if you're somebody who is in a different jurisdiction, you have to comply with all the local regulations and laws and levies, whether it be a tourism levy, some things, the same thing that would basically apply to hotels, things of that nature. It's something that every host here in Edmonton has to deal with. And we have to collect GST as well. And if you're making less than 30,000, Airbnb or the online marketplaces will remit it for you. But essentially in Alberta, you have to charge GST if you make over 30,000, which I have the past year. So I have to collect the GST myself, and you can add that in the back end of Airbnb. And then you have to factor in the tourism levy as well of 4%. So it ends up being about 9% property taxes that you would have to charge each guest. But as of October 1st, there's going to be some major changes to the tourism levy. So we'll discuss that and more in this video. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. This is definitely not tax or legal or any kind of financial advice either, so don't take it as such. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. And if you haven't gone over to my playlist yet, you can just go to the channel, click on playlist, and click on real estate. I've got a variety of different videos on here. I talked about Airbnb suspending my listing. I go over all of my journey on Airbnb thus far and some of the real estate trends that we're seeing here in Western Canada, specifically in Alberta and Edmonton and Calgary. Things are blowing up here. We've got some of the highest record of immigration, both from outside of the country and inside interprovincial migration as well. So again, you can track my journey on that playlist. And if you're looking for somebody to assist you with setting up an Airbnb, or if you're looking to start your own Airbnb, you can just go here, click on my links, scroll down. There's a referral. You can actually get bonus money just for hosting your first guest. And Airbnb actually pays me as well. So I actually will help people set up their listing for free. So if that's something that interests you, just drop a comment below, or you can message me at info@pursuitofwealthgroup.com, or you can go to you can go to powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com. Both will take you there, and there's a contact form that you can fill out, and there's also my email at the bottom. But essentially, I've already helped two hosts here in Edmonton set up, and I do that for free, as you'll get some money on behalf of Airbnb for setting up your listing and hosting your first guest, and Airbnb pays me a bit as well. So again, that's totally free of charge. I'll help you set up the listing. I'll help you configure everything, set up Booking.com and VRBO as well, and then sync all of those calendars together. Give you some of the tips that I've learned through my 2 and almost 3 years now hosting on Airbnb. And I've been a super host now for 2 years straight. And I'll talk, like I said, I'll walk you through. I'll talk to you about all the things that I've learned, and I'll even help you set up your listing the first time. So if you want to reach out to me, the best way to do that is just to go on my links, click on the Airbnb, and then just hit contact, and then we can go from there. But essentially, save you tons of time. Like I said, I've already helped a couple people here in Edmonton set up, and helping one host. I've got another couple in the works, and the first person that I set up, he had his whole calendar pretty much booked for all of this month and last month. He's been hosting for almost 3 months now. And he's making over $4,000 a month just listing his basement apartment. So if this is something that ever spoke to you or interests you, make sure to reach out, and I'd be happy to help. So the major changes coming on October 1st is the tourism levy. Again, I mentioned it briefly. Essentially, every stay you have to collect 4% and then remit that to the city. So as of October 1st, 2024, legislation will require any operator, and this is in Alberta, this is in all of Alberta. So starting October 1st, 2024, legislation will require any operator or online broker that collects payment for temporary accommodation in Alberta to register, collect, report, and remit the tourism levy. Until September 30th, 2024, all operators must register and collect, report, and remit the levy, regardless of who collects and facilitates the payment. So the term operator applies to the hotels, motels, inns, or similar establishments and includes residential unit accommodation hosts. So that would be us, right? Any Airbnb, VRBO, or Booking.com hosts. An online broker is a person or entity operating an online marketplace that facilitates short-term accommodation transactions between operators and purchasers. So that would be your Airbnbs of the world, right? Your Booking.coms, your VRBOs. So as of October 1st, us as hosts will no longer be responsible for collecting that 4% tourism levy. It's actually the onus will be on Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking.com. And I highly encourage, if you're not on Airbnb, again, you can go to my playlist. I talk about my real estate game plan. I go through all of my setups and whatnot, and then I talk about what you must know before starting an Airbnb or a short-term rental in 2024. Yeah, essentially, this is going to be a lot better for us, and we won't have to worry about it. So essentially, those companies are just going to collect it for you and then remit it to the province. And Airbnb has absolutely been killing it lately. I was on a Zoom call today with the CEO, and there's some exciting updates coming in the 2024 winter release and on the entire platform. And this month alone, I'm already at $7,600 and could eclipse $8,000 for the first time just with 2 Airbnb properties. Both are condos and they're both 1 bedrooms. My total expenses for both are around $2,000 per month, and the most I could get for these 2 condos, like renting them out long term, I get people saying all the time, oh, why don't you just rent it out long term? Way less headache. Well, the most I'd be able to get for those 2 units is around $2,400, and that's pushing it. So big difference between $2,400 a month and $8,000. Booking.com is also blowing up lately. I've noticed a huge amount of bookings. It's all honestly right there on par with Airbnb, which to my surprise, I wasn't using it for the longest time. And to my surprise, I've even noticed when I was setting up a brand new laptop, it was a Acer laptop. They had the Booking.com app pinned to the taskbar on the Windows 11 taskbar. So they seem to be getting some really good partnerships. I'm seeing a lot more advertisements and stuff like that for them as well. Even Airbnb, VRBO as well, or VRBO, getting a lot more traction and media attention. There's a lot more commercials and advertising. But VRBO is still not nearly as good as Airbnb or Booking.com. It goes Airbnb, Booking, and then VRBO. Definitely VRBO is the lesser of those 3, but I highly recommend that you're on all platforms. And as well, just in case you ever get banned from or suspended from Airbnb, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket, right? And I've got about 200 reviews across all of my properties on both my properties on Airbnb. I've got a rating of 4.93 out of 5 stars and been a superhost for 2 years straight since I started. So like I said, I also help people set up their Airbnbs as well. So if that's something that, again, interests you, you can comment below, or you can email us at info@pursuitofwealthgroup.com, or go to powgroup.ca, fill out the contact form, and we can get you started. Like I said, there's times are tough right now in the economy, and this is a great way to substitute your income. And yeah, super exciting. Very glad that I went on this journey. I've also got a couple of other condos and long-term rentals as well. Small bit of cash flow, but they're mostly just paying down the mortgage and the equity in the home, right? So great opportunities here. If this is something that interests you, make sure to reach out. All right, hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, make sure to smash like. I would appreciate it. It's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us in the pursuit of wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.